YouTube, Gilligan's Heroes. Anybody that's ever had a, I don't know, a mummy sleeping bag, been thinking about making it an underquilt, that's going to be our project today. We are going to be on those mountains over there to go test this momentarily. Talk to you later. All right, YouTube. First moment of truth. We're going to see how this thing fits in the wild. John's in his little nest here. Let's see if we can get under. John, how you feeling?
Good, good.
Look at that. See? Nice seal. John up here, huh? Huh, buddy? Huh? Huh?
Hi there.
John. I think you are going to be a little cold, I think, unless we fix this. Let's see here. There we go. I'm gonna stuff your shirt up in here, buddy.
Is it a big old gap?
Yep. Could you feel it?
Yeah.
Does that feel like it's any different?
Actually, yeah, it feels warmer now.
Yeah. You all right up there too?
I think so, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Be a little trial and error, but I think we're all right. All right. Well, we'll see how you feel in the morning. This is my cousin's setup. You guys saw a little bit of this last night in the video when I was asking him about his underquilt and how it was set up. But it's the underquilt that we made. It's kind of the purpose of my whole trip. She sits right here. She had a little issue with this particular feature. I think what I'm going to do is run drawstring channel through here. You can cinch that bad boy up, and I think it's going to completely close that up. I believe that's the last modification that I need to do. As you can see, it's all set up. He said he was pretty toasty. In fact, I think we'll go interview him real fast. This gentleman here is John. This is my cousin. It's my buddy. Tell us about the underquilt. What were you saying? You were fairly warm?
My feet got cold.
Okay, and you say that only happened primarily...
The first half of the night, and then I just figured it out.
We stuffed some stuff into there?
I just stuffed my sweatshirt and my coat up in there.
I was...
my feet around. I'm going to say that the biggest thing I noticed for me, but I'm 6'5", is it could be a little longer.
You pretty much have what's called a 3/4 underquilt.
Ah.
They're designed to fit your shoulders to your maybe lower calf.
Well, who's the jackass who thought of that?
Well, it's a 3-season and it's weight.
Yeah, but it worked great. I mean, it got down to what, like 38 last night?
All right, folks. As you can see, I'm in blaze orange. For those of us that are done, wanted to see what the high altitude gear test number 2 was like. There's no real further information. I think I've got it on camera, but you'll hear me say I'm just going to add a little bit of shock cord cinch string on the foot end at the very top of the modification that I put in. I think it'll solve everything. So I'm going to call this a success. For those of you that are still interested and want to stick around, see what the rest of our trip was like, see what our camp was like, kind of talk some of the history of stuff, stick around. I'll show you what the hike in and the hike out look like. Thanks. I need more space, buddy.
Oh, shit. What about that one?
I could probably do that. I'm looking actually. Alright, welcome back YouTube. We are out in the wild. I forgot to give you guys a camp tour yesterday, so behind me is kind of my setup. It's set up in porch mode right now, but we'll give you a full tour of camp. So, we have the camera pointing approximately, let's see, I'm going to guess northeast. So we kind of came in through that saddle that way, right? So there's a saddle called Montgomery Pass that we came through. Our camp, if you will, is right next to a water source. We had to do a little creativity, but you'll notice I've got this thing all kind of dammed up. We got a nice little, I guess, dish or whatever. This water stream goes all the way down from here, clear up this channel. We're kind of walking through our water source. And it's not like a main channel. It opens up here a ways, but then kind of goes underground. Just a neat little area. Pretty steep. We've seen all kinds of elk. We're here to do a elk hunt with my cousin anyway. This has been logged before, which I'll show you. The upper boundary, or our eastern boundary. This is a whole nother little drainage channel, separate from the one that we just came up. Which kind of borders our camp, I guess, if you will, to the south. So this would be the south end of camp right here. You can kind of see my setup. Take a peek. That ugly jacket is a jacket that was my cousin's dad's. When he passed, John gave it to me, so it was pretty cool. Neat little camp area. Like I say, I've got it in porch mode. Back side of this, and all dialed in. It did rain on us a little bit last night. What you're seeing right there is my poly crow. That basically is the plastic that you use to window seal windows. This one I think is set up for sliding glass doors. About 13 bucks. It's pretty durable. I mean, more durable than painter's drop cloth, and it's cheap enough to replace. Got everything kind of set up there. This is pretty cool. This is my do-it-yourself gravity water filtration system out of a camp shower. See my water down there. This is my water filter, which we discovered filters about 3 liters of water in about a half hour. But you just plug this in here, quick connect that in there, get the water flowing, and kind of walk away and leave it. Alright, well, back up this direction. This is that drainage channel that I was telling you about. Lots of downed timber. Kind of been doing a little cleaning up here, but a lot of this has been cleaned up. I'm assuming a logging outfit has come in through here. This is going to be the eastern boundary of our camp. Kind of back this way. I'll show you more about this. There's a logging road up there. This is my cousin's setup. But this is kind of where we're at with his setup. Well, we're going to walk through the outside of this. This is kind of like what we like to call our main channel. I'm walking back to the east again for the eastern boundary. Most of the rocks that I used for the fire pit that you're going to see here in a minute were constructed from this stuff on the logging road. And this is an old logging road. This direction would be down the valley towards Highway 14. Back up this direction is just the drainage channel on the eastern end. Again, this direction right here should be Montgomery Pass. This is a neat little water source that I had originally dammed up last night. However, it wasn't deep enough. And it wasn't clear enough. The water's super clear. Anyway, we're walking back on the northern side of camp towards the campfire. So, for those of you bad with directions, I've just made a giant loop. U-turn at the western end back east.
Well,
YouTube, we're going to finish our tour. This was the fire that I told you about that we constructed from rocks. That's the cousin that we made the underquilt for. Again, I hate to keep doing this, but this direction is about northeast. That is the direction that we need to go for Montgomery Pass. If we follow our thing back around, this is one of neat little tools that I've got. It's an Anchor solar panel. It doesn't weigh a whole lot, but it's great for charging phones and things like that in the backcountry. Anyway, this is the very western boundary of our campsite. This is my little abode. I'm pretty bad about using porch mode. Usually in most of the endeavors that I've been out camping, it hasn't been this calm. I've been very worried about things getting ripped. But I have to admit, this is probably one of the best camping experiences I've ever had. When you open that up, it really feels like my whole camp is open. One of the complaints that I have about hammock camping when it's down is this area right underneath the hammock itself. As much as I abhor the idea of a gear sling, I think a gear sling would be fantastic in this particular scenario. It would hang right underneath my hammock, and I should be able to store all of this crap that you see right there in it, which would leave me an easy area in and out in a windy or winter situation. But that'll be for later. All right, YouTube, peace. Yep, I got both of them. First person view of what it's like. That way when somebody tries to tell me that we didn't have it very hard, you and I can be kind of like, whatever. You leading or am I? All right, brother.
we gotta shoot this before we get back.
Say that?
I have to shoot this before we get back.
I got you. Check it out. An old campsite it looks like. See that?
Oh yeah.
Campsite. Looks like a trail of some sort. YouTube, welcome back. We're going to be taking the final ascent out of here. It's wicked steep. Just wanted you guys to see this. Hang tight, it'll be a little bouncy. Forgive me. You guys see me? Alright. One last peek a leak and off we go. I was trying to get enough elevation to cut back this way because that canyon's so fucking steep.
Monster.
It's the fucking hardest part right
Here,
there.
you want to shoot this? Here, all you gotta do is point and shoot at something.
Alright.
That's gonna it'll kick you like a fucking mule.
Okay.
This trigger is your set trigger, this is your fire trigger. You only need this one.
Okay. Kicks like a mule.
Yeah. Matter of fact, since it's a left-handed rifle, just shoot it from the waist.
Okay.
I don't want, just in case, because that sparks
Gotcha.
your eye. So you gotta cock this all the way back first.
Okay. You think I'll be able to hold on to it like this without dying?
Oh yeah.
That kicks like a fucking
Told
mule.
you.